Hey there, everybody. It's me, Chris. How you doing? And I am going through my harvest of mistletoe and holly from yesterday. Yesterday. So here is the holly. Just gonna check my picture first. Okay, I'm looking pretty good here. So I got my hands and everything. So yeah, we got the holly. Beautiful, beautiful color there. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. It's so pretty. And then we have a mistletoe. More beautiful, pretty stuff. Those beautiful berries, beautiful white springy berries. And my whole goal is to get pairs as such created, wrapped, and then sent out to my family and friends for this year. So love you guys. So I'm just gonna go through this mistletoe here and organize it and just kind of talk to you while I'm doing it. So happy Wednesday, everyone. And as you can see, mistletoe, it's kind of hard to transport, unless, if you have a, plan, you can go out and, make sure you bring like a lock and lock bin or, something that, once you set the mistletoe in, you set down in like that, it won't get pushed and crushed. And I didn't do that, of course. I put it in a big giant bag and I went out in the forest hoping to find what I needed, and I did. I put it in a bag and I just kind of, left a little. I didn't completely cut the air off from it. Wanted to give it a little bit of life and not kind of choke it out because it was kind of cold that morning too. So, be careful with how you're handling your mistletoe and holly. The best environment is to keep it into a dark, dry place or a cool place. Keep it out of the sun. Try to keep out of the moisture. Unless they're wilting, then you can spray them with water. This is not water. This is denatured alcohol, so we will not be doing that. We'll kill it. As you can see, I'm still getting my shop set up, and we're a little bit of a mess around here, but that's okay because it's all in good fun. Here's a ornament I made last year for Flammake Farm. It is a transferable ink I pressed into the wood. I just thought it'd be kind of a cool concept, and it actually turned out really nice. So yeah, if anybody wants any kind of ornament, I can make anything you want. Anything. Love you guys. I got my bear army here, hanging out. Some of my bears. Jen and I are gonna make some tonight. We're making stuff for Dad and Mom, and it's gonna be fun. So anyway, so I'm gonna separate my holly over here. I have a nice stock of holly. That's enough to make about, I don't know, about 10 mistletoe, full mistletoe decorations. As you'll see, they're very basic, and yeah. So right now I'm starting to kind of assess my mistletoe branches. I'm looking for the berries, so I definitely want to have berries on every branch that I have. It doesn't matter if it's 2 or 3. But I do want these berries. They're beautiful. They're just lovely, very lovely. They almost look like they're gonna burst. Man, it's gorgeous. All right, there we go. And so yeah, mistletoe. How about it? I could have put a story online yesterday about it, but I'll repeat it again because it's of Norse mythology, and I think it's just a great story. And it involves Loki. Everybody loves Loki, right? Loki, the Norse god of mischief. But so there's a mother, Norse mythology. I can't remember her name. It begins with an F. She had cast a spell across of the earth, and her son Baldur was born. And as she cast these spells, she did so in the hopes of protecting her son forever and ever and ever from any kind of danger on the land. She didn't want him to like fall off a tree and die or anything like that. She wanted him to fulfill his dynasty and his fate as it were back in those days. And so this wish that she had cast, or this spell that she had cast, was for the earth, and it was to the earth to not have any earth-based plants be able to hurt her son. No poison ivy scratches, no tree falling on his head. None of that could happen. But there was one plant that did not fit that bill because mistletoe is not a rooted to the earth plant. Mistletoe is an invasive species. It is a parasite and it feeds on its host. So when you see a bunch of these big balls up in those trees, you'll notice they're not very well put together. For one, they're not in a clump, so to speak. They have their own branches, and mistletoe does not like to share with other mistletoe. In fact, it does its best to fight for itself very, very well. And I mean, it'll take all of the nutrients. You have a bigger mistletoe and a smaller mistletoe is trying to sit up from down below. The smaller mistletoe actually could cut off that larger mistletoe. They don't play well together, is what I'm saying. So, with that, mistletoe only grows on branches of trees, and therefore is not a rooted plant. And it was bypassed. Not known to the mother, not known to the son. But there is one who knew what mistletoe could do for him, and that was Loki. Loki wanted to use his mischievous ways to hurt Baldur. So over the years, Loki created spears tipped with mistletoe. The mistletoe is poisonous if you ingest it. I know I will be washing my hands vigorously after this. I'm not touching my face. I'm very well practiced with plants and stuff. So mistletoe is a dangerous plant if you ingest it. Even if you handle it enough to where you smoke something that your fingers are on, you can get a tummy ache from that. Make sure your hands are always clean when handling any kind of flora. All right, just be careful, please. I don't want anybody to get sick, and that's what it'll cause. It won't kill you. It could if you had a high enough dose, of course. But if you ingested, or your animals ingested, mistletoe or holly or poinsettia, any Christmas plant, they will get very, very sick and it'll be a bad day. So I do everything I can to take precautions against this. I don't drop any on the floor, and if I do, I make sure I pick up immediately because my animals will not be impacted by something that's preventable in my house. So carrying on. Loki made a spear out of mistletoe, and this is a pretty piece. No berries, but it's pretty enough. Loki made a spear out of mistletoe, and that is how he killed Baldur. So, finding out about this, the mother, in all of her anger and oversight, hung mistletoe around to remind her of Baldur. And if any man passed under it, she would give him a kiss. And that would bring her very close to her son. Great Norse mythology. I love it. Ooh, this is a pretty nice piece here. This is a very large piece, so I'm going to make a large mistletoe with it, right? I'm going to get rid of those berries. Yes, I'm using nail scissors. I just want to score it and snap it. I don't want to cut all the way through. There's no philosophy behind that. It's just what I like to do. All right. Nice right there. Hey, I can see my table again. Not that it's pretty or anything, but... So yeah, now we have our sprigs, some of our sprigs together here. And yeah, these are really nice. Nice big sprig. This I'm going to leave for now. I think this will be for my house, and I'm going to make my own. Because this is just enough to signify the tradition of mistletoe. Just this sprig, So if we hang this sprig, I'm going to wire it. You can wire it up. Maybe put a bow around it. Most times there are bows on these. And we can hang that right up, and that's mistletoe. That's official. You'll find this all over the world. There's a wonderful, wonderful sort of symbol of connection, and you'd be surprised. And I think over the years, many of us have seen people kiss under a mistletoe who we've never seen kiss another human before. That's my take on it. I think that's kind of cool how, the mistletoe brings people together and makes people do, jump into traditions that they normally, in 364, days a year would never do, but they do it. And I just think that's priceless. And, also creating this mistletoe, brings me really, really close to my grandmother, Phyllis. She made tons of wreaths, and she made various, holly balls and all kinds of Christmas balls and Christmas plant life she would share with her friends or family. She made money off of this for a long time, but I remember going out with her into the woods and collecting more pine boughs than this stuff. But it doesn't matter what it is. This brings me right back to her wisdom and her love and her warmth and her ability to find activities and things like this that they breed connection. Things like this. My grandmother might not have been a very vocal woman about things like that, but everything she did signified her huge fucking heart. And I love her for that. I love all of you for that. And I love all you for sharing this time with me. There will be a part 2 where we start putting these bad boys together. So until then, be good and stay you.